Juniper Vale met the world in the lavender hush of 22 February 1997 inside a clapboard cottage crouched at the edge of Bras-d'Or Lake, Nova Scotia. Loons were still calling their glass bell notes across the dawn water when her mother, a Sealy fiddle legend who slips pressed clover inside every rosin block, coaxed a low reel along the cedar beams. Her father, a fogboat deckhand who sketches cloud creatures on bait receipts, leans so close their noses touch and promises his daughter that any horizon will inch wider for a person who stands tall and never folds herself small. Curves travel through the Vale clan the way tides cycle through Cape Breton's rocky inlets, so nobody panicked when baby Juniper popped her second flannel wrap before the kettle whistled. Granny Colleen slid a bone needle under each strained seam, eased in panels cut from an old tartan kilt, and chuckled that extra fabric cost pennies while teaching a child to shrink could cost her an entire archipelago of dreams. Primary classroom smelled of chalk dust, salt wind, and warm oat cakes. Juniper soon towered a full head above her classmates, and her shoulders fanned wide enough to blot the projector glow each time she diagrammed compound predicates. One drizzly recess, two boys pattered around her chanting "lobster boat" whenever she hopped the chalk grid. That evening, she tramped the stony shoreline collecting soda caps polished smooth by surf, threaded them on fishing leader into a chain of mirrors, and stitched the strand down her seafoam hoodie. At roll call the next morning, the low sun ricocheted off 100 silver discs, and a visiting literacy volunteer captured 8 shaky seconds on a flip phone before uploading the sparkle to a fledgling video site. 15,000 strangers applauded the girl who alchemized mockery into lighthouse glitter. Juniper inked a single promise across her workbook margin in violet gel. When clouds cluster like gulls, fling light until they scatter. Saturdays belongs to the harbor market, where her mother's fiddle lines braided with the hiss of pan-fried mussels and the smack of hemp ropes on wharf posts. Store-bought jeans stalled at Juniper's thighs, so she swapped busking coins for sun-bleached fishing net, unraveled it into flat cord, loop-knitted high-rise culottes, then sprayed puffin silhouettes with squid ink and posed at sunset against rust-crusted trawler rails, while her cousin snapped grainy photos. She posted the shots to a newborn diary she named Tide Lantern. The very week a photo-sharing app drifted across coastal cell towers. Captions toggled between Gaelic proverbs and plain maritime truths, such as "Curbs anchor storms steadier than breakwaters." By 16, she counted 53,000 unseen hearts tapping every golden hour frame, proof distance screens can hush cafeteria whispers louder than any hallway monitor. A botany scholarship ferried her west to the University of British Columbia. Daylights dissolved inside Tundra Genome Labs. Nights belonged to a 24-hour Donair van glowing neon jade beneath towering cedars. The spit warmer became her single softbox. During pocket lulls, she filmed 90-second reels, twisting parchment triangles into spruce cone hair clips while decoding dart manipulation in a voice part Tide Hush and part lecture zing. One clip looped humpback whistles over a pocket synth bass and showed her chain-stitching reflective paracord into thrift store denim. 46 hours later, the reel breezed past 1 million plays. Co-style blogs crowned her the Donair couturier, yet every sponsor email stuck at size 16. Juniper dropped each message into a folder labeled "shrinking nets," wiped garlic sauce from her cuff, and sliced another wrap. Early April delivered a note from Columbia Sportswear inviting her to co-design a windshell capsule called Boreal Pulse. Juniper replied with 3 bedrock terms. Patterns must reach 60-inch hips, half the production crew hired from technical colleges across Atlantic Canada, and 10% of net profit directed into eelgrass restoration along Bras-d'Or Lake. Columbia signed before sunrise silvered the mountains. The shoot unfolded at daybreak on a tide-swept sandbar where black-backed gulls kept watch. Juniper coached curvy paddleboarders through glassy swells, while a drone skirted wave crests overhead. When the lookbook dropped, every extended size shell vanished within 41 hours across 26 countries. Tide Lantern vaulted beyond 700,000 followers, still scented with Donair spice. She ducked behind flour sacks, balanced her phone on a yogurt tub, and live-streamed Tear Bright thanks to a buzzing fluorescent choir. If that swell of support already lit a warm spark behind your ribs, reach out and tap subscribe right now. A single finger grants you front row seats each time we launch a new tide of stories before algorithms shuffle the current. Go on, anchor yourself in. Spotlight shimmer invited rumor gulls. A click-thrill vlog claimed Juniper tightened rigid carbon plates round her waist between takes. At sunrise, she paddled out past the kelp line, stood easy in sports bra and fleece shorts, traced her stretch stripes with crushed fireweed bloom, and set a fiddle riff roaring against the quiet. 10 million viewers reposted the gem, labeling it fireweed-proof, brushing pink dust across their own curves until gossip slipped away like fog at noon. Night van wages, braided with capsule royalties and seeded veil glow, a whip body custard folding, spruce tip butter, baked apple seed oil, and mica petals that flash pearl under foam flash. 19,010 slid off her father's boat bench, each lid cinched with braided lobster pot line and stamped "Moisturize Your Horizon." Inventory vanished in 83 minutes, raising $198,000. 20% launched beacon grants that ship industrial surgers and underwater microphones to plus-size teens in shellfish villages, from Digby to Deer Lake. 9 months later, 37 grant winners floated a fashion and whale song gala board, a wooden scow strung in LED lupins, streamed live to breakfast shows from Nairobi to Nashville. Halifax Fashion Week carved fresh harbor lore when a rogue stage blower shredded her jade mesh gown from rib to knee 90 seconds before runway call. Juniper ripped neon dock rope from a cable drum, laced the slash like sneaker eyelets, and strode the catwalk as if the splice belonged to every sketch. Camera shutters cracked like salt ice. Vogue Maritimes named the salvage rope Cadence, and another million Lantern Voyagers surfaced before after-party vinyl even warmed. A disgruntled contractor leaked chopped mail suggesting Juniper demanded scallop sliders and helicopter lifts for her rescue puff and cricket. She posted the entire thread: refillable water urns, lentil stew for crew, caption monitors for deaf stylists, then funneled that month's affiliate revenue, $136,000, into biodegradable crab pilots in Sturmgris Bay. Fans echo her pure creed that receipts shine brighter than rumors silk, and whispers sank under springtide. By midsummer tide, Lantern glimmered across 6.6 million Instagram pulses, 3.3 million real Voyagers, and 2 million steadfast channel subscribers. Engagement tickling 10% and making ad strategists redraw maps. Cartier invited her to front Topaz Surge inside Peggy's Cove Lighthouse lens. Juniper accepted once Cartier pledged therapy stipends for lobster deckhands battered by late-season hurricanes. The real of her wrists scattering amber shards across iron ribs became Cartier's most saved post of the quarter. Family holds her true north. Twice monthly, she streams strings and steam. Mom slides fiddle triplets beside a propane grill while Dad recites cloud haiku, and Juniper flips thrifted denim under fairy lights. One stream peaked at 9 million when Cricket waddled through powdered sugar and sneezed a blizzard onto the mic. A seabird rescue now sponsors every show, tagging rehabilitated puffins with solar beacons powered by Veil Glow. While revenues surged past 12 million by year 2, she leased an abandoned smokehouse, carved skylights through tin, and hired furloughed deckhands, plus designed grads to whip and jar. Each tin seals with the lobster line knot tied during midday stretch dances to Fiddle House remixes. Efficiency advisors begged for heat bans. She repeated her mother's stage truth that fingertips store legends long after machines forget, and not stayed human-tied. Mental health candor weaves through her feed. She pairs granite cliff portraits with Donair truck selfies captioned "Same sky, different weather," drops breath tracks recorded under sea caves, adds reframing packs in English and Mi'kmaq, and shares sliding scale therapy links. 108,000 followers say her shoreline honesty was their first safe harbor. Community rides shimmer under crushed moonshell paint. Hundreds cruise the waterfront at dusk, wearing Veil Glow across collarbones and LED cape tails on spokes. Ticket proceeds increase beacon grants and install wheelchair snorkel decks at Rocky Coves. Chowder shacks keep pots simmering late because haddock stew bowls lift 15% on ride nights. Juniper pedals the lead cruiser with Cricket plush strapped in a wicker basket, stopping to retie any riders dragging late. A memoir titled Currents Keep Names arrives next spring in 11 languages, while a streamer films her plan to convert decommissioned weather buoys into floating weather labs for island high schools. Puma's white toe wave lantern sneakers splash in next quarter threaded with reflective rope and cushioned by algae foam, steering 10% of revenue into beacon grants across Atlantic Canada. The second wave of invitation is lapping at your screen. If the subscribe button up top still glows red, flip it gray now. Lock your berth and feel the next story crash into your feed ahead of every algorithm swirl. When this video closes, drift into the description. You will find fresh Vele Glow stock, the fast lane to Beacon grant entry, Tonight Strings and Steam playlist, and a quiet compass, a science-backed guide filled with conversation sparks and calm confidence rituals that chart the surest way to real love and the most dependable method to captivate any woman, free, friendly, waiting for you. Tap like if the soda cap spine broke Caden's gown save or cricket sneeze sparked a grin. Drop your brightest moment in the comments, then pass this voyage to a friend whose sails slump in slack wind. Every curve reroutes currents, every scar refracts moonlight, and the Atlantic bows to souls bold enough to plant both feet on the pier and greet tomorrow unblinking. Here glides the third, gentlest breeze. Subscribe now, claim your spot at the bow, and meet me on the next rolling tide when another story glimmers beyond the breakers and courage whispers your name once more.